2000, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker proposed the Budget Repair Bill. This bill had many provisions, but perhaps the most disputed and well-known was its intention to eliminate the collective bargaining rights of public employees. This was met with massive protests, which were noted as some of the largest and most sustained Madison has ever seen. These demonstrations garnered national media attention and united Wisconsinites from all backgrounds under a common cause. However, some of the most detrimental aspects of the bill went generally undiscussed. Through the bill, Walker intends to eliminate long-standing state recycling requirements and stop all funding for municipal and county-run recycling programs. He also plans to increase zoning and governmental regulations, which would then make it very difficult to site windmills in the state. Wisconsin's protections and preservation programs for farmland would be threatened or eliminated through the bill, and $12 million of GPR-supported bonds for farmland preservation would be lost. Wisconsin's water pollution laws and runoff regulations would be greatly weakened. And finally, in a provision that effectively cost the state over $44 million in transit aid, Walker slashes support for local transit by 10%, while increasing the funding for highway construction by 14%. It should come as no surprise then that some of Walker's biggest campaign contributors were construction companies.
La vie ça se trouve dans l'amour ça se perd dans la vie ça se donne à l'amour ça se prend la vie ça rêve à l'amour s'éveille à la vie car la vie mais c'est l'amour.
Stop!
Recyclables will start to fill up landfills. We will lose money garnered by the sale of recycled items, as well as jobs in the recycling field. Ultimately, we will have to spend more taxpayer money and devote more of our land to landfills, or use the costly and high carbon footprint process of shipping all of our excess recyclables cum trash out of state. With the loss of wind power sites and funding, businesses in the field of green energy will locate in other states, sacrificing Wisconsin job creation and increasing Wisconsin dependence on coal and other fossil fuels. The decreased protection of farmland will lead to more commercial development of Wisconsin farmlands and green spaces and contribute to job loss. Weakening of water pollution laws will produce greater polluted runoff in our lakes, streams, rivers, and ultimately groundwater. It will promote algae blooms and hypoxia and threaten biodiversity. The cuts of transit funding will lead to many more cars on the road, more pollution, and a continued and unsustainable dependence on oil, foreign or otherwise. It will make it very difficult for people without vehicles to reach school or work, and encourage suburban sprawl development. The loss of collective bargaining rights for transit employees may result in the loss of federal subsidies that require those rights, crippling public transportation and throwing away millions of dollars. On top of this, the loss of the high-speed rail equals the loss of hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding, revenue, and the green jobs and business the rail would generate and attract.